Yes.
Motion carries. We're going to executive session. Shirley.
You know, like sometimes they're only doing sergeants, or sometimes they're doing.
Hour and 15 minutes for that.
Waiting on posse. I was talking to a girl from Lisa's camp. She said, "There's Saturday." I told her she's never seen you at meetings. She said, "We went to meetings early. I've been to meetings." I think it was over back in there. I thought she was over to meetings, so she knows about it. She knows me. Bernice wanted to make check her shirt. I was talking.
Need a motion to reconvene? Motion is second.
Burgess. Yes.
Hicks.
Yes.
Myers.
Here.
Possum.
Yes.
Williams. Yes.
Louis, please call the roll.
Preston. Burgess.
Here.
Hicks.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Possum.
Here.
Williams. Here.
All right, we'll then move to public comments. All questions and comments must be directed to the mayor. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to comment on the topic on the agenda only. Each speaker will be allowed 1 opportunity to speak.
Good evening. Mr. Mayor, I am Marty Campbell Pruitt. I live in Lincoln Meadows on Eastbrook Drive in Sauk Village. And my comment is in reference to agenda item number 11. And I'm sorry to bring this before you again because I've done so about a year ago, where we looked at all of these minutes that needs to be approved and released. And I'm still having a very difficult time dealing with minutes coming before us that are not timely in terms of their disposition. Now, according to the Open Meetings Act and the Illinois Statute, number 5, section 120.2.06, chapter D2, it states explicitly that when you have a closed meeting, that it's okay not to release the minutes to the public. However, it spells out very clearly how they're supposed to be dealt with. And that is twice a year at least, you're supposed to review those minutes in closed session, come back before the body, before the people, and let us know if those minutes still need to remain closed because of confidentiality and everything. And this has not been done. And so now to see all of these minutes from 2011, it's just unquestionable. And I know that our attorney told me the last time I was before you that he was the reason that the minutes had not been released because he had advised that you keep them closed. However, I invite each of the elected officials to take note of ordinances and really to respond accordingly. Thank you.
Let me just say that this is one of the reasons why I do not vote yes to these closed session meetings, because of the way they are handled. You're absolutely right. I'm familiar with that statute, but also that many of the incidents that took place in these meetings are under litigation still. And in fact, I was talking to an attorney the other day about some of these same exact minutes. And I disapprove of them while he was in the back, and I disapprove of them now. So the way that this board has handled those minutes is inappropriate and is against state statute. And I don't know what Mr. Attorney is going to tell you, but in my opinion, you're absolutely right. Thank you for being there.
Thank you.
As far as the earlier minutes that were passed months ago, I believe I stated, or something my office stated, that it took a while for us to review those. And you're correct as far as the state statute that they're supposed to be reviewed biannually and then released. I can tell you there's a lot of municipalities that are well behind under executive session, closed session minutes. And if you look at the list, what's happened at the other meetings, you see the totality of all the closed session minutes. And this board just spent an hour and 10 minutes in closed session. There's a lot of closed session minutes. It's hours and hours of listening to tapes and typing them out. So I would offer that as an explanation. The tapes are kept. What's put in the minutes is the same thing that's stated during the executive session minutes. They're only released after review by the village attorneys. The ones that are released, even if they make mention of some past or ongoing litigation, they can be released as long as there's no confidential information contained within those minutes or that session. Some of the minutes, and you'll see them once they're released, there's mentioned that a matter was up in court last week and the next status date is in 3 weeks. That is not confidential. That does not have to be closed in any way. But if we're talking about who's interviewed or what the strategy or defense certain litigation is going to be taken by the village or suggested to be taken, that certainly is kept on the regs. And even further, if anyone wants to review the closed sessions, there's still a way of doing that, but you have to be involved in litigation and you have to file a motion with the judge, and it's put into a sealed envelope, and then the judge reviews it. It's called an in-camera inspection. The judge will go through the minutes, listen to the tape, and then the judge will decide who, if anyone, should hear what is discussed in closed session. So it's protected. There's a reason why certain things have to be protected, because certain information just can't be put out when cases are ongoing.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Next. Do you have something to support? Seeing no one?
No comment.
Go ahead.
Ma'am, I'll get my telephone service ring. You can't hear.
If there's anyone else, please come to the podium so we can move right on.
Of course, I am Francine Anderson, and I live at 1606 216th Street. And my question, sir, will be coming directly from the accounts payable.
We can start on page 1. Page 1 under the general fund, I would like to know under insurance, the unemployment insurance, who are we still paying for since we have rehired the 3 public works individuals who were laid off? Page 2, under the public funds and buildings, I would like to know the back for test. I would like to know if I FOIA that, will you be giving me raw data or will you give me an analyzed detail? Page 3, the police department. I understand and I see here we have 527 critical reach. I would like to know what is that and what is it used for? Page 7. I see we have water department, customer deposits. And I would like to know were these deposits or refunds that were given to residents for overpayment. Page 8, under the water fund, I see we have 1246 Lake Christian Company, pump repairs for well 2. I would like to know what happened to well 2 and what parts of the pump needed to be repaired. Page 9. We have in TIF 4, we have Baxter and Whiteman. I understand that we released Baxter and Whiteman, so I would like to know, you did that in November. Why are they still doing professional services that was dated January 24th? That added up to $116.44. Those are my questions directly from the accounts. Oh yes, I'm done.
Let me tell you that additional, I will gather all the information, those types of questions, and I'll have something for you by Thursday morning. Off the questions you asked, but I can also respond to tip number 4, Baxter Woodman. Baxter Woodman is still the engineers for the tips. So that they are still there, and they've always been the engineers for those tips. All righty, next.
So now I'm very confused.
Good evening. I'm Terry Calamini at 3123 24th Street. I have 2 questions, actually about public comments. Well, first, I would like to know why the public comments are not at the end of the meeting after reports have been made. I think that it would be more beneficial. It would be beneficial for residents to be able to respond to the information that's given later, as opposed to, well, never. And the next question that I have is, has it come up to have an executive session at the end of the meeting as opposed to the beginning? Because the meeting started at 7 and it's about 8:30 now, so I'm just wondering.
Yeah, you good for it? All right, under reports, if you notice on the 1st and 3rd of the month, the questions and comments are at the end of the agenda. That way the residents can talk about and ask questions about what the trustees were discussing during the committee meeting, so they get a better understanding. The questions on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays are the 2nd and 4th are business meetings where we're getting things done. And before we vote on something, that allows the residents to ask a question about something which we're getting ready to vote on and get a better understanding. Rather than moving it at the end on the 2nd and 4th and ask questions about stuff that have already been asked and it's after the fact. So that's why they're done the way it is. And then on the executive session, usually we try to push the executive session off to the end. However, there becomes times that we have to have it at the beginning for the things that we can discuss. And again, there's personnel issues that need to be discussed before we start. All right. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, we move to item number 5. That would be mayor's report. For multiple things, unfortunately, the first thing I'm going to talk about is Wednesday, they been able to negotiate an agreement with Dale Schrader. Dale Schrader is the owner of the temporary air strippers, which we're paying $50,000 plus a month to rent. And the agreement that we have before us tonight, and we'll be looking at the board for a consensus to accept this agreement so that staff can move forward, is they are going to sell the air strippers to the village of Sauk Village for a price of $110,000 with an automatic buyback at the end for $50,000. They are looking for a consensus tonight. As part of the sale, they also want us to get current on back past rents and services. So there will be an additional $91,790.58. That breakdown is for $55,500 for the month of February's rent. There's a prorated rate for the month of March, which we're up to today for $20,322.58. There's an open invoice for electrical work that was done for $1,393. And there is also for the winterization of the units that have not been paid for February and March, which is $14,575. Looking for the consensus of the board to take $110,000 out to buy these air strippers out of the cell phone tower account. We will also move $100,000 from the general fund over to the water fund and pay back money that we've already borrowed over this last year, which will lower the amount of money that we have to pay back to the water fund, but we can also use this money towards paying for these air strippers. Going forward, it will make our monthly rental fee only $12,466. That will break down, the breakdown for that includes the rental of the trailers, which the air strippers are sitting on, the transfer pumps, controls, levers, floats, connecting wires, large thrive tanks, 3 poly tanks, and the generator. That will make our new payment for rental $12,466. Again, that is the cost savings to the village at about over $40,000 a month on what we're currently paying for these air strippers. I look to the board for a consensus that we should move forward on this tonight. Do we have a consensus?
Yes.
As we stated, I would give a consensus to take a vote at a special meeting that we talked about in the back. That's what I thought that we were going to do, not a consensus to move forward, but a consensus to take a vote at a special meeting. That's what we discussed.
And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a consensus to move forward. However, next Tuesday night, we will call for a special call meeting to vote, and no checks will be issued, but this allows us to be able to go back and let them know that the board has given a consensus so that they know that they will be receiving a check after we vote on it approved.
There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle software that's missing that you did not hear about. I will not consent.
Okay, so we have the right. All right? No, he said no.
No, I said that I would agree to a consensus to take a vote, not a consensus to go ahead, because if we go ahead and do this, then why have a vote? That's what's stated before. If we're gonna go ahead and tell them that he was gonna get his check Wednesday, then why are we voting? I mean, if you're gonna tell somebody they're gonna get a check Wednesday, then come Tuesday, you say no, what does that mean? So I'm just saying that we have a consensus, what we talked about, a consensus to go forth and have a vote next week, right before the board meeting, right before the committee meeting, at a special meeting, to vote on this. That's what I was understanding, that we would have a consensus to take a vote and to let
to let Mr. Schrader know that we're going to take a vote come next Tuesday, and next Wednesday we will either give him a check or we won't. But if we have a consensus now to move forward with what he proposed, then you're telling him basically you're going to give him a check, and then you're going to take a vote. Now, if something happens and that vote doesn't pass, then what happens to that check? Or the promise of the check going? I don't want to make a promise until we have a vote. That's what I explicitly said. In fact, I would like to take a consensus that we move forward with the vote.
Mr. Mayor, I go along with Trustee Burgess. We just say definitely this is for you to meet with the company and inform them that next Tuesday night your board will take a vote on positivity, yes or no, correct? This is for you to inform the company, correct?
This is for us to move forward and to stop the daily fee. Right now, the prorated amount is $20,322.58 for this month, which will stop as of today as long as we have consensus from this board. If not, by next week, we're going to continue adding costs, and that cost will increase. Again, we are looking at, it's approximately $1,500 a day that we add into this. And the fact which we also talked about, we know that the low interest loan from the IUPA and getting the other work done is looking at approximately 7 months away. This is, again, if you look over time, this is a cost savings of $300,000 for the village. So we're looking at consensus to be able to go back to them and let them know what the next plans are, and this is what we're doing, and then we agree to go ahead and move forward on this. Rather than, again, stopping the $1,500 a day as of today.
Now, Acting Mayor, I understand what you, and I said it before, I understand what you're saying. My question, and the reason why I said what I said is, if we give a consensus right now to tell Mr. Schrader that we're moving forward with his plan, we're in essence taking a vote. We're in essence taking a vote. We're telling him that we're going to move forward with your plan, and you need to stop whatever you're doing, selling, what charging us, because as of next Wednesday, we're going to pay you. I'm asking to have a vote. I'm not trying to jump the gun. I don't want me, myself, I'm not going to jump the gun. We're going to take a vote, and we're going to take a vote to move forward. Not a consensus, so you can go back and tell us that we're going to do this, however, we're going to take a vote. Because, like I said before, something happens, and we take a vote, and this vote is down, but you told them that you're going to give, but you've already told them we're going to move forward. I was stated before that we were going to tell him that as of next Wednesday, I know that we're going to lose whatever. We're going to pay whatever, but I'd rather do it the right way. Because if we're voting money out, then we have to vote it out. Not a consensus to take money out. Call it what it is. We're voting the money out. You're not taking a consensus. You voted it out to make it happen. So by taking a consensus and then telling this person that we're going to move forward with a check come Wednesday after we take a vote, I don't understand that. That's why I asked for us to take a consensus to have a vote or to have a special meeting next week to vote on this particular project. That's all. And I'm sure Mr. Schrader will wait 1 week for this to happen. That's all I'm saying. I just want to do it the right way instead of consensus all the time. If we're going to vote, vote.
Just to clarify, you said it was about $1,500 a day, right? And if we did this consensus now, we would say $1,500 a day. And we're wanting to get a consensus so we can stop the $1,500, so he knows in good faith effort that we're going to have this vote on.
Correct. Or Tuesday, next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, before the, special meeting next Tuesday. I guess, we talked about it back there, we talked about it up here. If we've still got trustees that are unsure about it, I guess what we do is we roll the dice. And we take the consensus off the board, and we pay the $1,500 a day for the next 7 days, and then that's just more money that we'll have to pay. And then at 7 days, if we go back to you or Mr. McGrath, whoever goes back to Schrader and says, you know what, I couldn't get a consensus from the board, and the deal is pulled, then you would have to be responsible for reporting on the next Tuesday and say, we had a deal. We couldn't come to an agreement, and now we'll continue to pay the $50,000 with no payback in return. Because if we're not willing to give a good faith effort to somebody who's gone above and beyond and said, hey, we're gonna help you out, that's fine. I don't think that the board should do something unless it's a consensus. We don't have a consensus, but I think that we need to halt. but I think it's just imperative that if we lose this deal, that whoever, whether it's Mr. Mohan or Mr. McGrath, come back to the board and say, you had the opportunity to spend this amount of money. Because of not doing this, you ended up spending this amount of money. And I want to make sure that that's presented to the board and to the public with exactly how much money we ended up putting in.
Well, trustee, last I checked, I think we have, before honesty, and no money will be paid out, no checks will be issued until after next Tuesday, we will honor it. So this allows us to go back.
Can you restate the consensus which you made? There's a lot of
Well, there was no motion.
Well, can you restate what you were asking for consensus for? Just to be clear, because a lot of things we just discussed.
The consensus was for that we will move $110,000 out of the
Can't read it.
tower account to purchase the air strippers with a buyback of $50,000. We will also move $100,000 from the general fund
You can't read
to
it.
pay back the water fund. The water fund will pay the additional $91,790.58 with all the breakdowns. So again, we will call, we have a special call meeting, we'll call for next Tuesday night to do all the voting. We'll get 6:30 next Tuesday night.
Mayor, I do have first of all, where is it that it's stated that we lose $10,500 a week? Where is that stated, $1,500 a day? That's what you said. I don't see anything here that says that we would lose $1,500 a day if we don't do this. That's not on here. Second thing is what you just stated. You just made a provision that we will pay $110,000 from one account, $90,000 from another account, and the consensus of the board is to do that. You just stated that. Why are we voting next week?
Because we're not moving any money or doing anything until the village board votes. This allows us to go back to Dale Schrader to let him know that we are voting on it next Tuesday, and that we have reviewed the agreement, and that we're going to, again, vote plus stop before reading any further. This stops everything as of today.
Then why? Okay. If we're going to tell him that we're going to do this, sir, then that's my question. Why are we voting? If we're having a consensus that you're telling this person we're going to do this, you're basically telling them that the vote is going to go a certain way. You're basically, telling this person, Mr. Schrader, that he will have his check Wednesday. Now, if that doesn't happen, then you're right, somebody has to go back. But my first question is, where is it that we're losing $1,500 a day? I want to see that. I haven't seen that one. So that's $10,500 if we don't do this. I want to see where that's written. I mean, I see all these other figures here. I understand those figures, but where is it that says, where is it stated that I want to see where and what, and how do you clarify and justify that we're losing $1,500 a day if we don't make this deal right now? Because that sounds like you're pressuring us. Second thing, I'm sure Mr. Schrader would wait until the proper vote has been taken. But if we're going to do everything by consensus, then why are we doing this? Because things were done by consensus before, and I had objected to that, and you told me, well, the majority wins. So basically what you're saying now, the majority wins, so the rest of us that says do something different or wait until the other week, you're telling us in front of everybody here that if we wait, we're going to lose $10,500, which is saying, okay, well, if you do that, you're going to basically cost the village $10,500, which I want to see where that's coming from. And number two, I was under the impression, again, that in the back, we would have a consensus to take a vote next week, not to move forward with a consent that we were going to give this money to them, but to take a vote next week. And the reason why we did that, because we can't add to the agenda, that I was told. I understand that. But I was in the back, when we were in the back talking, I was under the understanding that we would take a consensus to have a vote at a special meeting, then the next two days. That's all.
As far as the 1,500, just to be clear, I was going to shut that figure out, and how it's figured out is according to the terms of the Schrader agreement that he's going to give. If you purchase the air stripper, the monthly rental will be reduced to $12,466. So if you take that from the $55,500 that you're currently paying, he's prorated the difference of $43,000 some odd dollars, prorated that over a month period. So he's charging the village, 12 days, the first 12 days of the month. So if you divide 30, it's approximately 1,500, maybe it's 1,350, I just did it quickly. That dollar amount is what you're saving for tomorrow's rental, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, into next week. And as Trustee Williams stated, you know, Mr. Schrader might pull back on this. Really, I don't know, I doubt if he would. He's going to lose some rental money on doing this. He's been very good for the village, bringing in equipment, training Kevin and his guys on how to clean it and work it. So the village great results over there and make it money. I don't think he would pull back on his decision. It's a way just to stop the meter from running, so to speak.
I understand
So
that.
the 1,500, if it's 1,300, you were going to get a proration of the difference between what you're going to be renting and what you're paying right now.
And I understand that, but it's just, to me, it seems like it's a pressure tactic. I mean, if he's going to do business with us, what's 1 week? He knows that this is a municipality, that we have to do everything before the board, and the board has to look at it and weigh it and have a special meeting. That's how it works. But I have a problem with you telling me this today, that we're going to do this, and if we don't do this today, we're going to lose X amount of money. And if we take a consensus, because once you take a consensus and tell a person to move forward with it, that's it. I stated again, why have a vote if we're going to have a consensus?
Spend the 10 grand.
If you're going to consent to it, then we're going to do this. I'm not saying that we can come back next week and say no, but why have a vote? Why have a vote? Well, what's the reason for a consensus? If you're consenting to do this, that's basically what you're going to tell Mr. Schrader tomorrow, that the board consented to go ahead and move forward. We're going to take a vote next week, but we're going to move forward, and hopefully, and Wednesday, you're going to have your check. Why can't we say, well, Wednesday, you're going to have your check, and the board is going to vote on it, because that's how the board does business. And that's the way, the government does business. I mean, I understand we've been doing this for quite a while, but what's 1 more week? I'm sure that when actually we're doing business, when he'll be giving him this money, he would give us a break for 1 week. I'm not sure that, I'm just saying, we negotiated this part. What's 1 more week?
I don't think he's going back and forth with the gentleman. Again, we just got these terms that we, at least between us, agreed to the board for approval just yesterday. This still has to be reviewed with a written contract. With this, which will have to be prepared this week. Based on the consent order that was entered last week, and Attorney General, he's got nothing to lose. I don't think he doesn't have to give you a break.
No, he doesn't.
Say, I'm going to give you the last week's rental for free. I don't know if we're going to do that. He might. I don't know if this is the way to stop the police.
So when we say we consent to it, I'm just saying that I didn't think we got to that point where we did business that way. Okay. I'm just one person. You got the consent of the board?
All right, move forward. Move forward, again, this Wednesday, which is tomorrow, March 13th, from 5 o'clock to 7:30. Let's see here, March 13th, at the Sauk Senior Center, we have Enbridge coming in to do their proposal of the expansion of the pipeline system. So that will be right here on the Senior Center tomorrow. And again, if you're anywhere near where they're going to be doing the sewer, you should have already received a letter and a packet at your house. We have 2 good things to bring for the village board tonight. I'll go ahead and read this. As Director Mayor Hanks, at the December 2012 meeting, Deputy Chief Levis asked if our school district could make a donation to officers training on violent crimes in schools, which his officers will be attending. I'm happy to inform you that Community Consolidated Schools District 168 School Board has approved a $200 donation for Sauk Village Police Officer training. Enclosed will be a check for the police department in the amount of $200. So we'll pass this off to Mr. Mohan. We have a $200 check right here. So again, this is for the training. And don't go too far because I have another good thing to announce. As the board knows, as of the beginning of the year, we let the Don Theobald and Associates go, and there was a retainer balance left, and so I have the check for that retainer balance for $6,131.34. So we can take that money and put that in. Right to that also. So, all right. $6,131.34. Thank you very much. All right. And that is my report. Village Clerk,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hopefully everybody received the sound talk on the next table today. We've got some, a lot of information regarding the upcoming election. The second page is all the ways that you need to know as far as today was the last day to register to vote. But tomorrow is the first day of grace period registration and voting. And March 25th is the last day of early voting. So the first day, I think, the first day of early voting. I just found out today that Chicago Heights will be an early voting center. It was kind of questionable at some point. And also that Markham will be an early voting site. That was also very questionable. I was trying to work with the county to get an early voting site in Sauk Village, but unfortunately, we do not have Wi-Fi in the community center. As we had, well, we did it one time, but unfortunately, we don't have it any longer. But I was this close to getting early voting in Sauk Village, unfortunately. So, if you have any questions pertaining to any of the information that's in the Sauk Talk regarding the dates that are in there, the polling places, the candidate files, any information that I can be of any assistance for anyone, please contact me. My phone number is 708-753-5121, or you can leave a note at the front desk and they will see that I get it. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Move to Village Treasurer, Scott. Village Attorney, Mr. McGrath.
Thank you, George.
Move Village Engineer, Mr. Tim Tonic.
Mayor. Just one item, the bid opening for the 2013 street program will be at the next board meeting on March 26th at 7 o'clock. So we'll get to see a little bit of it.
Will that be a special meeting before student government day?
Yes.
Or will we have it today?
Yes, it'll be a meeting before the meeting.
So like 6:30?
Well, it's advertised for 7. So bid opening will be very quick, and then the kids can take over. Okay. Sorry, it's a lot of pressure to get this out by the
You're saying that we should open the meeting at 7, the regular board meeting at 7, put the bid opening at the beginning of the agenda, and then start with the students.
Yes.
That can be worked out on the side one. Move item number 6, move to Parks and Recs, Trustee Plaskett.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Happy to announce that starting this Saturday, we will be having baseball signups. It's community center, I will be there. And set signups from 10 o'clock to noon. I'll also be there at Thursday afternoons from 5 to 7 to accept the signup. This will be for 5 to 9-year-olds. Starting with the T-ball and the Pee-wee program for both boys and girls. Provided we get enough children to sign up and we can get parents if we can. Also, I have to report that the animal clinic that they had here at the village last Saturday, they had a turnout and had the following items were done. We had 6 heartworm tests, 8 distemper tests, 2 feline distemper tests, 7 rabies vaccinations, 2 wartell vaccinations, like I said, 2 nail trims, and they sold 8 packs of 6 months supply of heartworm. Of the people who showed up, all but 2 were residents of Mountain View. They were very happy with the accommodations and the things we did for them, and they are asking for some more time. And that is my report.
The Trustee Majorities Review Committee, Trustee Myers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of items tonight. First of all, I've been working with the village clerk while I was laid up for a while. We've been going over the revisions on Unicode. We pretty much have got him intact and ready to be shipped back for final review. We will be coming to the department heads with some unfair ordinances that you guys put on that coming back from Unicode that that's my third week, be Wednesday. And I'm going to try to start the neighborhood watch committee up at Washington as soon as probably want to start back up April, or everything's all done and over with, we can get back together and get the neighborhood watch going again. And that's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Move ahead to number C, economic development, trustee Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to inform and wish Sauk Village a 56th anniversary. Today is our 56th birthday of Sauk Village. We incorporated in the village in 1957. And it's been 56 years, so I don't know if we have any residents that have been here 56 years. It's so good. Because they raised their hand and they've been here 56 years. None that know yet. Anyway, second of all, the Illinois Tollway, I've been reporting back and forth that the Illinois Tollway is hiring people. And they're constantly hiring people. They have a website out there. I can give you the website after the meeting tonight. But they're, I keep getting their literature and I keep getting their communications. And there has been a couple of people from Sauk Village that actually relocated to where they were located, because they go throughout the whole state. So somewhere you may have to relocate because it may be downstate. But the jobs that are on there are valid. So I just want to let everyone else know. Also, as I stated before, the Old Bear Paint, which is now Jacobson Trucking, I talked to them the other day. They're still hiring, but like I said, they go through a process, go to a temp agency, and once you've been in that temp agency, the way I understand it, once you've been there for a length of time, they may pull from that particular group, but they're not hiring full-time per se right now to work in the warehouse. They have truck drivers that work there, that get work back and forth, but as far as the warehouse is concerned, they're hiring a temp agency, as is a lot of the other industrial parks that are throughout the village. So I would, I can get with anyone after the meeting and let you know how to go through that process. As Davis is one of the places that you go to, and how you go through that to get the jobs at the warehouses that are here. We've already talked about the businesses. I mentioned it last 2 weeks ago that the Chinese restaurant is closing, well, it has closed, and it's gone. So in the plaza now, we only have, there is no more, other than Shark's Chicken, fast food restaurant in that plaza right now. So it's looking kind of dim right now, and then I understand that only one that's Fairway may be looking at to leave also. So, but it's I don't know if it's economics or whatever, but I talked to Fairway and I told them they need to step up their game a little bit, to attract more people, because that's why people are leaving. But that's been a while, and they haven't done it yet. So, I can't tell anybody in the shops over there when they're not completely satisfied. So, I did let them know that that may be one of the reasons why they're not getting the business that they should. And that does end my report. Like I said, after the meeting, I can get with anyone that wants to know about the temporary hiring practice, temporary hiring in the warehouse. That does conclude my report. Thank you.
Item number D, public relations committee, trustee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of reminders. 2 weeks from tonight will be Student Government Day. I would remind all elected officials and all department heads that we ask that you're here by 6:30 that night for pictures with your respective candidate. We're in the process of waiting from the school district for the names of the children who will be participating. We still don't have those names yet, to my knowledge, unless they're from Morgan School or email. I haven't seen them. Also, for the department heads, I will be asking for vehicles and personnel as is customary. I will email a memo out, the same memo that I email out every year, asking for your help and support, which I appreciate in advance. And then also, I was asked to read a report from Nan, the director of the library. And she states, the Compton Public Library is pleased to report that they applied for and have received a donation of seed from the Renee's Garden of Sauk, California for the community garden. Planting has begun inside the library for seedlings to ready for outside planting in May. The library district will be putting up fencing to enhance and secure the area. So kudos to Concord Public Library, and that ends my report.
Thank you, trustee. Okay, item number 7A.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Next week, Friday. All reports from elected officials and department heads will be turned in. And not only elected officials, but our beautiful audience members who do participate in reports on board meeting days. We will need your report by next week, Friday. Next week, Friday, so that we have time to reprint them, make any changes if necessary. Again, I ask that we understand that 8th graders are reading these. No words like codification, multiple syllables that they couldn't understand. If we can keep it simple and trying to make sure that it brings out the essence of your committee, but it's not too hard to trip up over. Thank you.
Item 7A, Fire Department, Police Department, 911 Commission, Chief Stockton.
Thank you, Board Mayor. I'll do the police department report first. Since the last board meeting, the police department has taken 613 calls for service. This includes 5 burglaries, 31 domestic, 55 arrests. Among these arrests, the police department had 3 DUIs, 11 warrant arrests, and 2 aggravated assaults. Fire department. Over the past 2 weeks, the department responded to 28 calls. Fire department responded to 6 car accidents, 6 fire alarms, 6 CO alarms, 1 gas leak, 6 ambulance assists, 2 assists to Chicago Heights, and fire over there, 1 assist to Crete. We are always taking applications for paid on firefighters. Great opportunity to serve your community, get your foot in the door, and potential career. There are application requirements. You stop by the station Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 in the afternoon. You guys can pick up applications. Any questions that you ask will be answered at that time.
7B, Public Works Department, Mr. Wells.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple items. The town cleanup garbage pickup has just got worse again because of the snow. So we're asking residents, please help us out there. We are going to start an early sweep with the sweeper due to some of the road work that is going to be ongoing and some of the pothole work that has been in the past. With the weather conditions, the plows and vehicles have pulled up some of those patches. So the sweeper will be out in front of some of those areas as they're pothole patching to clean up some of the rock debris from the cold patch. Currently, we still have an ongoing problem with some the light power on the street lights on Sauk Trail. We're still waiting on a part. I'm hoping this week it'll be in, and next week we'll be back on the timer or the photocell as usual, so it'll be off in the daytime, not at night. We also currently are still working on the east side shutoff list. We were delayed by some of the weather conditions and some repairs and some general maintenance inside the buildings. We are finishing up that list, and we're probably going to have a second list coming out next week. On Sunday, the 10th, we had a water main break over 1792 to 25th place. Roughly took about 4.5 hours to repair. We did have a few residential complaints about water. We had to shut off 3 valves, so that did affect some homes in the area. And also did affect Lincoln Meadows, which is unfortunately the corner of the area where we had to shut off. Also, this year, this is a very good year for us. Knock on wood, hopefully it stays this way. We only have 3 breaks for the whole year, so that is really good for Sauk Village. Ongoing hydrant work. We have not worked on the Nichols address hydrant yet. The weather conditions stopped us. We still have that one set in the schedule. That one is a bigger operation. You have to dig a hole, do a lot more work at that location, so we shipped it off to another repair of a hydrant. We have been speaking with the vendor of water fire hydrants, and they just got back to us with a bunch of the parts that we've been looking for. So we're going to be working on 4 of the hydrants on Sauk Trail, one of which is repaired at the entrance, across the street from 2450 Sauk Trail, which is the entrance of one of the plazas over there. That one is currently back online. The one that's on Orion on Sauk Trail, which is 2400 across from there. That was the second one. We have parts for that one. That one will go back online sometime at the end of this week or first of next week. And we have 2 other ones that will follow that. The parts for these hydrants, we do not have to replace the whole hydrant. These were installed roughly in 1985, and technology changes, parts change, so some of these parts will last another 50 years, could be on it probably. During the snow event, we fared very well. We had one of our plows, which is very old, fractured, which is just a welding issue, but it'll probably have to be sent off to be properly welded. And hopefully our weather conditions are over this year, and we're going to use that plow this year. During snow events, I mentioned last report that we do come across mailbox issues. Up to date, we've only had 4 calls of mailbox damage, but there are damaged mailboxes out there, and most of the residents realized that they probably weren't in good condition originally, so they're not calling us, or they will be calling us, but at this time, there's only 4 complaints, 3 of which we will repair, and they're very minor repairs, just due to some nails pulled loose, so we will put those back together. And one that was a plastic mailbox, very old, but definitely got fractured during some of the heavy snow hitting it, so we will replace that one. And as today, if anybody was out about, they are pothole patching, and we do thank all the residents for the calls, because like I said before, we cannot patch out every street every day. But thank everybody for the calls and any help we can do. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Madam C. Administrative Services Director, Jasinski.
Thanks, this is real brief. I just want to remind you guys that the business licenses letters will be going out Friday. The renewal letters, they expire April 30th along with the contractor's licenses. Those letters will be going out April 8th when I get back from vacation. I will be on vacation from March 30th, and I will be back to work on April 8th. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Finance Director, Mr. Rowe.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and the board. The auditors for 2010-11 are going to be here day after tomorrow. They're planning to spend almost about 2 weeks or so in the village. And the department has everything in place, and hopefully the audit will go smoothly. And next is, we have a bank balance in First Midwest Bank about $13,073.69. And we have a bank balance in Illinois funds, $723,111.29. Because most of the dollar amounts are relating to tax-free dollars, this are surely coming in. Hopefully we'll be getting approximately another 600 to 800,000 very soon. I'm expecting it here by the end of this month. And that ends my report.
Thank you. We have number E, Emergency Services Disaster Agency, Mr. Johnson.
February 24th through March 8th, does respond to 30 incidents, 7 car accidents, 1 gas leak, 1 over investigation, 6 fire alarms, 6 seal alarms, 1 weather watch, 6 school patrols, and 2 system agencies.
Thanks, sir. We have number F, Senior Committee Resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Monday Sunshiners next meeting will be held on March 18th, 7 p.m. The Wednesday Leisure Timers will meet next Wednesday, March 27th at 4 p.m. for their St. Patrick's dinner. Their meeting tomorrow in Ashley has been canceled due to the Enbridge pipeline presentation. Every Sunday, except Easter Sunday at 3 p.m., the Fun Club has their free basic line dancing class for their members. Their candidates formed for trustee last Saturday, March 9th, had a very liberal turnout. 5 of the 14 trustee candidates were no-show. The Saturday, March 23rd forum will be for mayoral village clerk candidates. The website svfun.club@hotmail.com is available for questions from the village voting public. They must include their name and address. All 3 senior organizations are looking for members aged 50 and up. Dues are $10, $14, and $15 respectively. every Sunday evening except Easter Sunday. Sauk Village Bluegrass meets from 6 to 10. The event is free and a free will donation is taken to cover the cost of beverage and paper supply. United Church of Christ is holding their annual trivia night on Saturday, March 16th. Cost is $5. The money goes toward the prize. Children 12 and under are free. Their Easter egg hunt is on Saturday, March 23rd at 10 a.m. The Bloom Township Community Luncheon Step into Spring is on Wednesday, March 20th at Glenwoody Golf Course. Doors open at 11:30. Friday, March 15th is the deadline to purchase tickets. The next Senior Committee free Zumba Gold class will meet this Saturday, March 16th, and every first and third Saturday from 1 to 1:45. All seniors 50 and up, regardless of residency, are welcome. The next computer classes are scheduled for Thursday and Friday. March 21st will be for the current students and to practice, and the 22nd for pre-registered new students at 1 p.m. for village seniors and seniors belonging to one of the senior organizations. Posted are the updated flyers in the literature rack on future schedule. Free tax preparation is still done by appointment at Bloom Township Senior Department, McConaughey Library, and also at Prairie State College. The committee's annual senior cook-off is on Saturday, March 9th from 12 to 3 p.m. Monetary prizes for the top 3 chefs. There will be door prizes, entertainment, 50-50, line dance, instruction. You can see flyers for details. On Tuesday, March 26th, I will be assisting a presentation on senior medical patrol that will be done at the Community Nutrition Network in the Senior Center in Chicago Heights from 9:30 to 10:30 a.m. The next senior committee is this Thursday, March 14th at 5 p.m. in the Senior Center. Thank you. This ends my report.
Amendment G, Interrelations Commission, Beautification Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll start with the Human Relations Commission, and the report is very brief. I just want to update that we conducted a voter registration on March 6th at Walgreens, and because of those efforts, coupled with a couple of applications that I received from the village clerk, we submitted applications for 10 additional registered individuals for Sauk Village on yesterday. Another thing we want to report is that all members of the commission has completed the Open Meetings Act training, and the village clerk will be receiving a copy of each of the certificates. Moving toward to the beautification, Rosie gave a great portion of my report, and I thank you very much, but I'm still programmed to go forward. Okay. And we would like to report that this year, where the community garden is concerned, that we are really working on it really being a community effort. And in that vein, the library is really stepping up, and they voted at their meeting last week that they would purchase the fencing for the community garden. There's a couple of little things that needs to be worked out in terms of compliance issues and the heights of the fence and everything. But I will be working with Sherry, and Sherry's working with me to make certain that we can, come up with a resolution. And Rosie did mention that we received a grant from Renee's Garden and Seeds. Those seeds are in, and Nan and her staff at the library have been working with children as well as volunteers to get some of those planted. And then when it's time, we will be placing them out in the community garden. Another good thing is that we made application for a Cook Fresh grant through the Cook County Farm Bureau, and they offer $300 a year for 5 places in Illinois. And I'm really pleased to report that we got one of those $300 grants. So that's going to be quite a bit to help us get additional plans. And that concludes both of my reports.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. Move to item H, looking for an application. I move to item 8, there's nothing. Item 9, new business. Motion to approve accounts payable and disbursements for February 27, 2013 through March 12, 2013. Motion to approve. Motion is there a second?
Second.
Motion second. Any questions or comments?
Question.
Trustee Benson?
Page 1, the measure 154 This bill is for 1119 for the month of November 2012, correct?
Yes.
Is there going to be another bill for December? I'm quite sure. that-
November and December.
You wouldn't actually have an idea what that bill would be. The December bill, you have an idea of what that would be? And the January, February, but I'm quite sure that people will be able to.
Probably around $45,000, I guess.
Okay, and how about, January and February?
January, same kind of.
So what would be just as much as what we see right now?
I can get back with you with the details of information tomorrow by email. Right now, I don't have any.
So in the next 3-4 months, we can probably pay them $300,000.
Oh, yes.
Okay, also down here you have, the bottom, the same page 1. $3.99, gift basketball leagues, business card. Can you explain that? Does he borrow business cards, that's what I'm saying?
Business cards, probably Kevin will be able to answer the question.
I'm sorry, can I say it again?
Microphones, please.
Yeah, he purchased a gift basket. What was the gift basket?
For the gifts, baskets were purchased for trustee Ed Myers as well as Tim Olivas of the police department. It's kind of get well fruit
Right.
basket.
Gotcha. Okay, so he bought a gift for Myers, fine Myers, but he bought it with taxpayers' money. He bought the taxpayers' money. He buying a gift for Myers, but the taxpayers' money.
Of course, it's not $200 or $3,000, it's only hardly, it's about $60.
Village budget.
For Myers.
The bit-
Yes.
The village bought it for Myers.
Yes, it is.
Then why is, okay, he was there, why?
Customary, like, funeral plans or anything like that.
If you let us know, we're going to say something, trust me.
Instead of flowers, we wanted to send fruits. That's all. That's all.
Page 3. Building number 8. 838. For Blaze uniform, Chief Fox, Chief Fox uniform.
Yes, the bills were never paid. Now we, started planning to pay the bills. Otherwise, the vendors will put a hold on our account instead of getting rid of the hold. We started paying for the bill. Thank you.
Trustee Benson, I'm sorry, Trustee Burgess.
Thank you. Ms. Mohan, I just have a question. I don't know if you have the answer right now, but I'd like to get it as soon as possible. What is our debt service balance?
Which debt service you are
What
referring
we still, as far as bills that we're not paying, that we still have outstanding?
Right now, we have almost about $530,000 in outstanding bills.
In outstanding bills?
Excluding the quarterly.
Right. That's what I mean. As far as after the day, we still have a balance of 530.
Right. Still, Mike is working on and inputting all the invoices into the system. Right now, as of today, around $551,000.
That's 550. Thank you. That's what I wanted to do.
Mr. Mohan, the bills that you received, or you have received for customer service, I'm sure you have quite an idea.
Right.
Can I have a copy of, can we have a copy of those bills, please?
Sure. Sure, not a problem. Thank you.
We have a motion and second on the floor. No other comments or questions? Ms. Farlow.
Johnson?
Thank you.
Burgess?
Yes.
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Poskett?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
All right. We've had 10A, approval of minutes for February 26, 2013, board meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Yes, motion to approve.
So,
A motion, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Questions or comments? Hearing none, Village Clerk, please call the roll.
Benson?
No.
Burgess?
Yes.
Myers?
Yes.
Poskett?
Yes.
Williams?
yes.
Hanks?
Yes. All right. Move to item number 11. Approve and release executive session minutes. These are all for approval and release.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I would like to suspend the rules at this time and ask that we table, to suspend the rules at this time and, for the purpose of changing the agenda.
Mr. Mayor. I didn't get a chance, I looked at my notes, I have November 29th and December 13th. I don't want to amend it out of the entire list. And is there a way possible? Those two, we had two meetings on it. Very okay. I know the attorney approved it.
Frankie Payne.
I know we have a lot of discussion about this, so I think what we need to do, first of all, if you're suspending the rules, you should come out all in one motion.
I'm suspending the rules to change the agenda to, first of all, to do that, and then after that, I want to make a motion to table the 11 and 12 until we get a chance. We're talking about 28 different
The question I would have is, why don't we suspend the rules to table something? If you get down to that item, you
No, I just
can
want
get a
to
motion on the floor, and you can make a motion to table.
Okay, well then I want to make a motion, because I am changing, I would like to make a motion that we table number 11 and number 12 until we get, I mean, we're looking at 28 different minutes that were just given to us Friday, I think it was. And I haven't had a chance to make an appointment to come and see those, but we have to make an appointment to come and see them. That's 28 different minutes, which I'm pretty sure is a lot, and I know it is. So rather than vote on something that I have to recollect over 2 years ago, or almost a year and a half at this point. And I would like to ask that we table this until the next board meeting, that we give us a chance to.
Okay, we have a motion to table item number 11, number 12. Is there a second to table complete items number 11 and 12? Is there?
I'm gonna say, that's what I'm there. Another couple of weeks, I cover one by the other.
Now, discussion. Questions, comments? Trustee?
Yes, I have a question, actually, for Trustee Burgess. February 26th, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, almost 20 executive sessions to vote on. You didn't take to do that, so why would you take to do this? What's the difference between these meetings versus these meetings? The same thing.
I need a chance.
In 2010, and you voted to release and approve those, but now you want to stop to approve and release these. It's a conflict here, and I don't need to know why. You don't have to tell me why. But you got 2010 and 11. This is 2011. So what's the difference between you approving these here, February 26th versus the date March 12th?
Well, trustee, the reason I didn't get a chance to look at these, and that was it's just a motion that I made. I mean, it's going to go before the board, it's going to go before the trustees, to the yea or nay. I just made a motion to table it for another till we have the next board meeting. That's all. Yeah. That was it. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just that I, make a motion, and you said before that which I didn't get a chance to do those either, but I'm just, two wrongs don't make a right. I'm just asking to table it, that's all. And it's going to be voted on with the trustees.
I guess my question for the clerk is, trustee Benson pointed out, I don't remember the number that you gave. That's the number that you did, we had 2 weeks ago. And then I think trustee Burgess, you said that there's about 3 on here. 28, okay. It seems that we're going to have a pattern then, so I'm wondering if we table these 28, and then, next 2 weeks, a lot to put on my little kids to have these 28, and then the village clerk and the attorney have put in even more. That's a lot of motions for my little kids to make. So, again, it could be a long board meeting of everybody taking the opportunity to make a motion, because, back originally, when we used to vote on minutes a couple years ago, and by a couple, I mean at least 6, then there was a blanket. It was a consent agenda. I know it's a weird thing now. We don't have these anymore because we can't consent on anything, but we used to have a consent agenda. And we would have all the minutes under consent agenda. It was one motion, one vote. It did take 28 separate motions and 28 separate votes. So now if we table this, you've got, if you want to hold off till in 2 weeks, you're going to have 28 motions and 28 seconds by 6 8th graders. And then, that was my second question. So if the village clerk adds 20 more, her and the attorney can come up with 20 more, that's 48 motions and 48 seconds to keep track of with 8th graders, unless we go and we push it again 2 weeks. Now, if we're looking at the number of 20, so now we're going to be at 68 motions and 68 seconds, all to approve minutes, which I know are diligently, there's finally a system, there's finally the process of being approved. We know the packets are done, packets are supposed to be on Fridays. The email was sent by the village clerk to the board to make an appointment on Thursday, the night before packets were due, to have the village, and I know we're all busy, I'm not saying nobody up here is not busy, but a day before packets were due, the village clerk sent out an email and said, hey, these are the minutes, come make an appointment, because we all know executive session minutes until the release do not be brought out of those. So we knew that this was something that was apparently been precedented. Either way, I'm okay. I'm just saying that you're going to have 48 motions and seconds for this, or you're going to wait a whole month and have 68 or more for us to do this. And if you think about 68, even if you quickly, so move second, vote. Now let's be honest, we don't do anything that quick as the board. That is 68 times for the mayor to ask for a motion. 68 times for the village clerk to ask for the roll. 68 times for me to say yes or no. Is that really something we want to do? I'm just throwing it out there. We all have the opportunity to review the minutes. But I mean, there's a motion and a second to suspend, there's a motion and a second to table.
Did you say that we already had a chance to view these minutes?
You should have received an email, trustee Benson. Your email address is on this email.
But you said we already had a chance to view. We have no idea what I heard. We have no idea what chance I had.
No, let me repeat myself. What I said was,
We had no idea what my availability is. These are these minutes. We had no idea.
absolutely, and what I stated was, we all received an email. We were all given the chance. I also stated that we were all busy. Some of us made appointments to look at minutes. Some of us didn't. Everybody up here has a full-time job. Everybody up here has life. So, all I'm saying is to look at the bigger picture of 48 sets of minutes, potentially, if not more, to be voted on by April.
All right. There's a motion to table, and a second on the floor, there's a discussion, just so the village board knows, you have till next Tuesday night before the special board meeting to review these. These will be added to the special board meeting agenda. Village clerk, please call roll. Vote in the table. I do it on the
Wait a minute, you said we're going to vote on at the next
Special-
special board meeting?
special call meeting next Tuesday night at 6:30. Village clerk, please call roll.
We're still in the comment portion then? If we're still in the comment portion, the only thing I ask is that can we please make the special, the special meeting has to be at 7, right?
No,
Because that's supposed to.
6:30. Next week, next Tuesday.
That's, okay. Just want to put that to the
All right, Village clerk, please call roll.
So just for clarification, we're moving the approval of these minutes to the next Tuesday, 6:30.
Maybe the trustees
My
want
office
to.
is open for everybody to come look at it, as it has been for the last 3 weeks. And nobody came, I'm sorry, only 3 trustees came on the 26th to check those minutes out before they were approved. Didn't see any problem.
You said on the 26th?
Yes, sir. Benson.
I think what you can do is, you guys can sit down with the village clerk and find out where times are. Village clerk, please.
You said the 26th?
Yes, sir. When those minutes were approved, you did not even make an appointment, you didn't answer my email, you didn't even
For
call me.
these minutes?
Benson, I said Benson.
No, you said for these
On the
minutes.
26th, when the minutes were approved, I did the same thing and sent out an email and asked all the trustees to come and view the minutes. 3 did, and 3 didn't, and they got approved. Benson. Yes,
This
you
is for
said it
table.
yourself.
This is for
For the
table.
26th, now we're talking about this meeting. Now, the mayor has asked me to call the roll.
This is the table minutes.
Benson.
Yes, it is.
Burgess.
Yes.
Hanks.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Husk.
Yes.
Williams.
No.
Okay. Motion carries. Move to item number 13. Comments from the trustees. Start with trustee Williams.
Nothing.
Trustee Myers? No? Trustee Benson? Trustee Hoskin? Anything?
Everybody, really need to get kids out, sign up for this school league so we can get started. No friends, anybody, relatives in town, we have kids from age 5 to 9 want to play baseball, please have them come out.
Trustee Williams?
Nothing.
I just want to make one announcement that, I know it wasn't put out there, I have it here somewhere, but there's an Easter egg hunt here at the Village Hall. And what, March 30th? March 30th, it's going to be it's being put on by the plan. So, bring your young kids out and enjoy the day. So, I didn't hear anyone announce that, so I just want to make sure I had out there. With that said, I look for a motion. Look for a motion to adjourn. Your motion is second. All in favor, say aye. Meeting adjourned.
Right around the band. The more it changes, the more it stays the same. You know.